previously.
Where's Leviathan?
Out of harm's way. Fetch a clandestine, and your second father will be waiting for you when you get back.
I have a friend working at the Alien Search and Research Institute.
No idea when Loki would have found the time to make friends in Oasis Springs.
He's definitely hiding something from us.
Those dogs. I ran into them during my evening walk, and they chased me all the way back here.
Our appointment at the alien facility has been cancelled because our guide was attacked too. Grande, see what you can find out about Esma Yildiz.
She's a witch, and her dog Familiar is the one who killed Mom and Henford on Bagley.
This is not how I'd hoped our reunion would go. I a Crumplebottom.
Are you sure this is it?
Must be. Both Esma and Yildiz are fairly common names in other parts of the world, but according to my research, there is only one Esma Yildiz living in Oasis Springs, and this is her address. Why are you asking?
Because one of us has disappeared.
Huh? Oh well. You know Aya, she loves playing her little pranks.
Or she left because this is not the right place.
The right place for what?
Yildiz? You're really? Wow. I thought the name was just a coincidence.
It's a small world I see. A very small one. The former co-worker that ratted me out to the police, and the cop that arrested me. What could you possibly be doing here?
Ditto. I remember the SCIA coming to pick you up from my police station. Didn't expect to see you again so soon. Or at all.
Except that wasn't the SCIA, but my daughter breaking me out. And I'm only telling you this because I can't lie. But before you try to arrest me again, think twice. Whatever you want from me this time, you won't get it that way.
Easy there. I'm not on duty right now. And it's not you we want anyway.
I suppose Esma is your wife. Is she home?
Probably in bed, as she should be, if she's too sick for work. I didn't find her in the kitchen or the living room.
What the hell? Where did you come from all of a sudden?
The inside of your house, obviously. Are you blind? Now answer Grande's question. Is your wife home?
Depends on what you want from her.
She was attacked by men with dogs last night. So was I. We'd like to learn more about that.
The last time I helped you, I ended up in prison. What makes you think I'm stupid enough to make the same mistake again?
I'm a witch. Cooperate, and I might just come up with a spell to heal your wife's injuries and protect your home from future attacks. Refuse, and I'll think of other spells to make your situation even worse. Your choice.
Seems like nobody's home. Good.
Nobody? Am I a joke to you?
I wonder where they went though. Perhaps they're on to us.
If you're the ones whose dogs attacked us last night, then yes, some of us are looking into that as we speak. No idea where Loki went, he was being all mysterious again, but Tiamo and Wilbica followed him to find out. Now let's talk about you. Who are you, and what do you want?
Say, Justin, I know about your father's past with Aya Mammini, but you never told me how you crossed paths with her family last year.
I was in Windenburg, trying to recruit a few more werewolves for our business, my old friend Draco in particular. But then his former girlfriend, Elise, found out about us, and she brought a gang of both witches and witch hunters to the scene to kill or lock us up. I was lucky to get away.
I know this scent. It's the werewolf that was here last night. But who is the other guy?
Such a shame that we weren't able to establish the business in Windenburg. That town is so much more beautiful and elegant than this dusty backwater, not to mention the physical proximity to one of our best customers in Shadowvale.
Customers in Shadowvale? You mean the vampires? They're supposed to be your sworn enemies. I know of at least one ancient vampire overlord who doesn't think highly of werewolves, and he happens to live in Shadowvale too. What's so great about that business you keep bringing up?
It wouldn't be so bad if the shadows of our past hadn't followed us to this location.
You think that's why they're here?
No clue. In any case, my father doesn't want us to hurt his childhood friend or her family before he had a chance to talk to her. But since no one's here at the moment, what do you say we give them a little warning by blowing this place up?
Over my dead body.
Oh, look, someone's here after all.
That's not just anybody. It's the Mammini's shape-shifting familiar, and the murderer of my mother and 2 of our dogs. She'll make a fine replacement for them.
Where are we? I've never been here before.
Of course not. You've never been to this town at all. Neither have I.
Are we even still in the town? Loki seems to know exactly where he's going though. Perhaps you were wrong to accuse him of lying when he said he had ties to Oasis Springs.
And you are wrong if you think he still hasn't noticed us spying on him. This is Loki after all. He's probably just too polite to turn around and say gotcha. But if you consider him that innocent, why are we even still doing this?
Well, he did act strange all morning and then left without saying where he was going, so something is definitely off. Whether or not that is a problem remains to be seen. Wait, is that the Alien Search and Research Institute?
Probably. Not sure what else that acronym could stand for.
But he's not going to just waltz in like that, is he? Grande said uninvited guests could get shot for trespassing, and there's probably some invisible barrier to stop them from doing so anyway.
Unless they teleport past it. Fuck. I didn't realize he could do that. First the telekinesis, now this.
Oh, he mentioned something like that on Sulani. But if I remember correctly, it's limited to places within his field of vision. Still safer than trying to fly around in bat form though. I raised my son well. Or, will raise him well, since he's from the future. We'll have raised him well.
Is that the only thing on your mind right now? I for one would love to know what the fuck is going on. What's Loki up to? Why is he keeping it secret from us? And most importantly, how can he walk around in the scorching desert sun wearing a fucking latex shirt? He may be part vampire and immune to sweating, but doesn't he still get uncomfortably hot?
Good questions, if only I could answer them. The shirt is undoubtedly the biggest mystery. Let's just keep watching the facility, he'll have to come back out again at some point.
Mammini. Yes, I remember that name. You're the tourists I was supposed to show around at work today. Sorry that didn't work out.
Well, we were not so sure if your employer was telling the truth or just looking for an excuse to get rid of us. So I'm glad you're actually injured and not just pretending.
Aya, I don't think this is the best way to start this conversation.
Hey, I'm brewing a healing potion for a complete stranger who hasn't revealed any useful information yet. If you expect me to mince my words as well, prepare for a niceness overload that will rip the universe to shreds.
What useful information are you looking for, and why do you think my wife can provide it?
Honestly, the only reason we're interested in this guided tour is because our friend recently vanished without a trace, and we suspect aliens.
Then why don't you ask your purple-skinned friend over here?
I'm not one of those that abduct humans. In fact, I'm the result of such an abduction myself. But I never got to know my alien parent, or others of my kind, so I can't help in this case.
Neither can I'm afraid. I'm just a lab assistant and part-time tour guide, with no access to classified information about abductions. You'll have to ask someone higher up. Unfortunately, in the light of current events, it's very likely that the Asari will close its doors again. But you're a fascinating specimen. They'd probably let you in even without an official appointment.
Yeah, no thanks. If we make Oasis Springs safe again, will we get another shot at visiting the Institute without me volunteering as a guinea pig?
Of course, but I'm not sure what you intend to do about it. Even the police don't know what's going on. People just started disappearing one day, and like in your friend's case, everybody's first thought was aliens. But then witnesses came forward, claiming that they saw their friends and family being carried away by aggressive dogs and their owners, never to be seen again. After last night, that could have been me too.
Drink this and your physical memories of that event will fade away in no time. But as for the real victims, no one has any idea what happens to them?
Well, there is an urban legend about it.
More like a conspiracy theory. You shouldn't believe everything you hear, Malik. I thought your days as a government agent were over.
But you said it yourself, no one knows the truth, so it's as good an explanation as any.
Let's hear it then.
A wine bar opened in New Appaloosa around the time the first residents went missing. The owner is an elderly redhead who is said to look at people like their food, and some believe that the very special wine and the meaty snacks at his bar are made from human flesh and blood.
What?
Sounds oddly familiar. Where have I heard that story before?
That would explain why none of the missing persons ever return. Not in one piece at least. Ew, just thinking about it grosses me out.
Then let it be. You don't actually believe that fairy tale, do you?
More like a vampire tale, or werewolves, considering the dogs. Where is New Appaloosa?
Not far from here. But you're out of luck today. It's not open on weekends, for some weird reason.
Because that's when they go on the hunt for their mystery ingredients, or process them. Nothing weird about that.
Don't be silly.
Whatever. Since we're stuck here anyway, we might as well follow that lead. No, we don't have any clandestines lying about. The raw material can't survive in Earth's atmosphere for long.
What about the one you're wearing?
It's protected by an endurance spell. Remove that spell and the crystal breaks, transmitting its alien properties to anyone in the immediate vicinity.
I see. I recognize your ring as the one that gave me my telekinetic powers in my past, which is still this world's future, so stealing it from you now might bring about unwanted consequences. Looks like we'll have to get our own after all.
Yes, it looks that way.
Go back to work and forget everything about this conversation. The next time we meet, you will recognize me as your friend Loki and confirm everything I tell my family about our relationship.
I can think of only one explanation for this. He must have stolen it from your wardrobe.
No, definitely not.
Tiamo, please. You may not look like a male dominatrix today, but most of your outfits do include something shiny and immodest, like his t-shirt.
But not in that color. When have you ever seen me wear purple?
On Valentine's Day, your date with Leviathan.
That was an exception, because we had just found that nice pink suit for him, and I wanted us to wear matching clothes for a change. You'll probably never see me in purple clothes again.
Of course not, because Loki stole them all from you.
Bullshit.
So, can I help you?
Loki, finally. Yes, you can indeed help us. We've been wondering about your strange activities lately.
And we won't let you go until we get answers, so tell us the truth right here and now. What's the deal with this shirt?
Silly me, I thought you were going to ask about my solo run to the facility that just cancelled our appointment. But if you're not interested in that, we might as well go home in silence, because my latex shirt is my business.
Hey, wait. That would have been the next point on the agenda.
I could have explained it to you on the way here if you hadn't been so adamant about being sneaky, thinking I wouldn't notice you following me.
Told you.
I promised Aya I'd get in touch with my contact on the inside again, but she wouldn't pick up her phone, so I decided to pay her a visit instead. Alone, because Grandis' hacking attempts revealed a tight security system that only I could get past unscathed via teleportation. I asked her about the dog attacks, which she never warned us of because she thought they were no longer happening, and about Leviathan, but no news on that front either.
And she didn't even question you showing up uninvited on a high-security compound out of the blue.
Whatever. All I'm hearing is that it doesn't matter if we solve the mystery of the desert dogs and get another appointment for a guided tour, as long as Leviathan is not there. I don't have time for this.
Still worried about missing out on university?
You would be too, if it was either that, or going back to secondary school because you don't look old enough to fit in anywhere else, and that stupid Principal Greyhill has it in for me anyway.
Perhaps you need your own latex shirt to take his mind off those negative thoughts.
Perhaps you need my fist in your face.
We found her at the vacation home. No one else was around, but she was fairly aggressive. Better go talk to her, Dad.
Fine. I'll see if I can calm her down.
Piss off, werewolf scum. I have nothing to say to you.
Whoa, quite a foul mouth. Even though you can't speak, you sound just like your mistress. But you should know I can read minds. Those of dogs, at least. So, let's have a nice little chat, shall we?
Sure. I could use some advice on this thought experiment. If you had to assign the 4 elements to the 4 seasons, how would you go about it? I'd say summer is definitely fire, because it's the hottest time of the year. It rains a lot in fall, so that would be water. Spring is earth, because that's when nature recovers from winter by growing lots of new plants and flowers. But that only leaves air for winter itself, and I don't associate the element air with snow and ice. So what now?
I see what you're doing. You don't want me to find out anything about the family you're serving, so you're filling your head with useless distractions to keep me from reading your true thoughts. Very clever for a simple familiar. Then again, You are different from other dog familiars I've dealt with before.
If you know that much about my kind, you should realize that your prison isn't going to hold me. All it takes is for one of my proteges to call for me, and I'll teleport out of here in an instant, whether I want to or not.
They left you alone at their house. How much do you think they really need you?
I was guarding that house.
Not very efficiently. That much is obvious.
You might be right. Perhaps my strengths lie elsewhere. How about you let me out, and we test how efficient I am at ripping your throat out?
I'm afraid you can't do that without the permission of your mistress, and she wouldn't allow it. I go way back, you know?
So does she and her husband, yet she still wants him dead, because that's how she deals with people who threaten her family.
Looks like we still have a few things in common after all, despite our decades apart. I also go to great lengths to protect my family. So what do you suggest I do with you? My wife's murderer?
The rabid werewolf terrorizing Hinford on Bagley. That was your wife?
You made that connection rather quickly. Do I sense a bad conscience?
No, but I can put two and two together. Not only is your son's scent very similar to hers, that werewolf was also the only person I killed in recent times. She had it coming, and from the look of things you do too.
Is that so?
Why are you kidnapping random people? And what do you need the dogs for, if you're all big and strong werewolves?
Big and strong werewolves can be more trouble than they're worth, especially under the influence of a full moon. That's why we prefer to hunt when the moon is barely visible, and the dogs make up for the animal instincts and abilities we lack in our human forms. There, I answered one of your questions, so perhaps you're willing to answer one of mine next.
Nah, I'm good. But speaking of big and strong, sucks to be a regular werewolf that requires the right amount of moonlight to transform, doesn't it?
Oh shit.
You can say that again.
Cosmo, stop her.
Damn it. Shouldn't I be able to teleport in this form?
A unicorn. How elegant, but also inconvenient.
You're not a werewolf. At least that's not all you are. Catch me if you can.
I'm not gonna ruin my hairstyle chasing after a horse. Ira, your turn.
They're getting closer. Shit.
Wow. We called for bitch. What the hell is that?
A unicorn, obviously. Get over your irrational fear of horses already, especially when they're so pretty. If that's all, I should get packing and call a taxi if I'm supposed to catch the night flight back to Windenburg.
Thanks, family. That was too close.
Since when does bitch transform into a unicorn, and why?
For the same reason she can now take on her wolf form at will. My birthday gift. Good to know she's still our familiar and can easily be summoned in all her forms.
Bad to know that none of those forms can speak, because I found out quite a lot today that you might be interested in.
I'm not sure. I can only sense the emotions of animals most of the time, not their exact thoughts. And it works a lot better when I'm in physical proximity than on a video call.
Try harder. We're not paying you to give up at the tiniest obstacle.
Actually, I'm not getting paid for this at all. And you called while I was running a hot bath that is getting colder as we speak.
If you can't be on the phone and take a bath at the same time, that's all the more reason to hurry up then, isn't it?
Just an hour ago I tried my best to hide my thoughts from some thug who could read them. Now I'm doing everything in my power to share them with people who can't. This is bullshit.
Sorry, Amara. We wouldn't have bothered you if it wasn't important.
Why are you wearing a latex shirt?
He won't tell us, so if you want to know, you'll have to read his mind as well. But bitches first.
This is going nowhere.
Nope. Too bad brains can't be hacked like computers.
All right. Let's do this again, bitch. Think about what you've been trying to tell your family.
I was kidnapped by the same people that attacked us last night. I know who, what, and where they are, and I can lead the others to them so we can stop their shenanigans and make our appointment at the alien facility at last.
And?
All I'm getting is that she really wants to show you something. Something important. I suggest you follow her the next time she leaves the house.
That doesn't have to be tonight though, does it? I'm not looking forward to being attacked by those dogs again.
We go tomorrow then, at first light.
And I'll dress up, just in case something unpleasant happens. Thanks, Amara. Feel free to take your hot bath now.
Well, at least she said thanks.
Good thing Wilbica left her laptop here, otherwise we would have had to do that video call on someone's phone, like barbarians.
Remind me when we're home to finally get myself a new one. Considering how much we're traveling lately, it gets harder and harder to do my job without my own laptop.
Peaceful night, everyone.
Peaceful being the operative word. No more hysterical screaming at shit o'clock, you hear me?
Now that Willie is gone, do I get her bed?
What for? You don't need to sleep, and there's no one here for you to have sex with.
Cute of you to think that I need a bed for that. But I'll answer your question if you tell me about your new latex fetish.
That again?
Hey Yildiz. Sorry to bother you this late. How is your wife?
Better. The magic potion really did the trick. But that's not why you're calling.
No, it's not. I'm still haunted by that urban legend you told us.
Not surprising. You've always been a softie. A big scary man, with an even bigger fluffy heart. That just made your betrayal in Windenburg all the more painful, so if you're now looking for a wholesome bedtime story to make you forget about all the evil in this world, go ask someone else.
To the contrary. I want you to tell me everything you know about that urban legend.
Really? Wow. You're tougher than I thought. But I'm afraid there's nothing else to say. I could tell you what I think its origins are, but my theory is just as icky as the legend itself, so...
Fine by me. I'm grasping at straws to figure out what's going on in this town. So give me your full theory, as icky as it may be, and don't hold back. I promise I won't faint.
Well, if you insist. Back in the late 70s, there was that horror flick called Meat Grinder. I was just a young teen and not allowed to watch it at the movies, but with everyone talking about it all the time, the plot quickly became common knowledge. A restaurant owner who is sick of slaughtering animals resorts to other sources of meat without telling anyone. This works for him, until a customer enjoying a rare steak bites on something hard that he recognizes as his missing girlfriend's engagement ring, and... I suppose that's all for today. Good night, Grande.